Hi, my name is Jenny Edwards. I live in Evergreen, Colorado, and I've been involved with thought field therapy since 1997. And I don't know, it's kind of like you just know something. And I always knew that when I first heard about it, that my goal and my mission in life was to take it to other countries that might not automatically get it really quickly, especially Africa. And so since 1997, I've done training in thought field therapy in 10 countries in 4 languages, French, Italian, Spanish, and English. And probably, Dr. Callahan says that most normal people will go, what? This is crazy. And I guess everyone has their time when they really realize, oh wow, this really works. And I was in Nairobi, Kenya, doing training, thought field therapy algorithm training in August of 1998. And that was when the American Embassy was bombed. And I knew immediately that I had to go to Kenyatta Hospital to determine for myself if it really worked with bombing victims. And I was with some sisters. I was presenting for the Carmelites and Order of the Catholic Church. And I asked the sisters to take me to Kenyatta Hospital. And I went to numerous wards where they had lacerations on their face. And part of thought field therapy is tapping these 2 acupressure points for trauma, eyebrow, under eye, and then some other points. And I thought there's no way I could tap with people with lacerations on their faces, so I found a ward with lower body injuries. And the first woman that I was able to build rapport with and get to know a little bit and talk to had glass in her feet, and I said, I have something that might be helpful. I said, I have no idea if it'll work, because I really didn't. And I said, the worst that would happen is you'd waste 5 minutes and it wouldn't work. And she said, Jenny, I will do anything. I am in so much pain. I am in I have flashbacks. I keep thinking a bomb is going to explode any minute in the hospital. I can't sleep at night. All I could think about was Friday's bombing. This was the Monday after the bombing on Friday. She said, I'll do anything. So I asked her to tap. I said, how bad is your pain? And she, with the glass in her feet, and she said it was a 10 on a 0 to 10 scale. And then I said, how bad is your trauma, the flashbacks? And that was a 10. And I thought, let's just go for the pain first and relieve her of the pain. And so we did the gamut spot 50, the algorithm for that, and with reversal treatments, etc. And I was able to get her down to a 5, and I couldn't get any lower, and somehow I thought, maybe I need to do the trauma first. And so I went and we did the trauma algorithm with anger and guilt, and it went down to a 0. And then we went back and got the pain, and that got down to a 0. And I'll never forget, she looked up and she had tears in her eyes, and she was lying down and there were just tears, and she said, I have not been able to stop thinking about the bombing ever since Friday, and I've not been able to sleep with the pictures turning over the video in my brain, and you know what? The pictures have stopped. I think I'm going to be able to get some sleep tonight. And so I said, great, and I wrote down, I said, probably the trauma will stay gone, and definitely the pain will come back because she still had glass in her feet, so I wrote down things for her to do. And then after that, the sister over to my left said, Jenny, the woman over here wants to be healed. I went, oh my gosh, I had no idea anyone was even watching what we were doing. And so I went over there, and she was 10 on trauma and 10 on pain. So I thought, okay, we're going for the trauma first. So we got rid of the trauma, got the trauma from a 10 down to a 0, and then we got the pain down to a 0. And actually, her hand was like this. And part of the treatment involves tapping on the gamut spot right here. And I said, will that hurt for you to do that? Because I definitely didn't want to injure her or cause her any more pain. And she said, you know what, a little bit, but she said, to look like that woman over there, I will do anything. And so we did the trauma first, got that down to a 0, and then did the pain and got that down to a 0. And then by now, the woman across that I had already treated, she was sitting up and her husband was there and laughing, and I learned later that that was the first time that she had sat up to eat since since the bombing on Friday. And the next day, the sisters reported that she had said, oh, normally she was like, oh, don't leave me. I'm afraid something will happen tonight, and I don't want to be alone in the hospital. And that night, she was just like, oh, honey, tell the kids hi. I'll be home soon. I'll talk to you later. And then about that time too, the husband of the second woman had come in, and he had said, I've got a crick in my neck. I wonder if this will help. And then the interesting part too, I had tried to gain rapport with a woman who was sitting looking out the window, and she just had been staring into space, and I really wasn't able to get a conversation started with her prior to treating the other two women. And the next day, the sisters reported that she said, well, why did she heal the other two and she didn't heal me? And they assured her that I had written down for the other two women what to do. And so I really encourage you to work with thought field therapy, because it's an extremely powerful method of healing for the worst trauma, even a bombing.